Margaret thought her father was simply slowing down with age, until she found him sitting at the kitchen table one morning, staring at his untouched coffee, lost in thought. A man who once thrived on routine and energy had quietly faded into someone different. No one realized it at the time, but his body had been sending quiet warnings for months. Warnings that, had they been noticed, could have changed everything. Most people assume the end comes suddenly, like a switch flipping off. But what if I told you that the body starts whispering long before it shouts? Subtle signs that go unnoticed, until hindsight makes them painfully clear. Today, we're going to uncover 5 subtle yet powerful signs that an elderly loved one may be in their final year. Some of them might surprise you. But by the end, you'll see aging, and the time you have left with them, through an entirely new lens. Let's begin. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. 1. Significant weight loss. Imagine Margaret, an 82-year-old grandmother, known for her infectious laughter and love for cooking. Her home always smelled of roasted chicken and buttery mashed potatoes, and family gatherings revolved around her hearty meals. But over the past year, something changed. Her daughter, Sarah, noticed Margaret's belts needed extra holes, her sweaters looked oversized, and those big family dinners? She barely touched them. At first, Sarah dismissed it. Maybe she just needs less food now. But then came the reality check. Margaret had lost 15 pounds without even trying. Unintentional weight loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's often an early warning sign that the body is slowing down. Dr. John Morley, a leading geriatrician at St. Louis University, explains that while some muscle loss is normal with aging, rapid weight loss, more than 5% of body weight in a month or 10% in 6 months, could indicate a deeper problem. The body may struggle to absorb nutrients, digest food, or even maintain muscle mass, leading to frailty. Think of the body as a once-efficient factory. In youth, it runs smoothly, producing energy and strength. But in later years, that factory slows. Machines break down, production drops, and fuel runs low. Appetite often dwindles too. Food might lose its flavor, chewing becomes difficult, or the stomach feels full too quickly. Studies from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society reveal that 50 to 70% of elderly individuals in their final years experience appetite loss, often linked to chronic illnesses like cancer, kidney disease, or heart failure. For Margaret, skipping meals wasn't just about a loss of interest. She became weaker, stumbled more, and took longer to recover from minor colds. Her family tried everything, even her favorite chocolate cake, but nothing sparked her appetite. If this sounds familiar, what's the next step? Forcing large meals won't help if the body is shutting down. Instead, focus on small, nutrient-dense foods, smoothies, broths, or protein-packed bites, and hydration. The goal isn't just eating, it's comfort and care. Have you noticed similar changes in a loved one? Let's explore more signs that signal when the body is preparing for its final chapter. 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. Picture David, a retired carpenter whose hands once shaped wood into beautiful rocking chairs. At 79, he still spent hours in his shed sanding and assembling pieces. But this year, something changed. His son, Mark, noticed David struggling to get out of bed. Walking to the mailbox left him gasping for breath, and he often dozed off mid-sentence. "I just need a nap," he'd say, but even after resting, the exhaustion clung to him like a heavy coat. Mark wondered, was this just aging, or something more? Extreme fatigue isn't ordinary tiredness, it's a deep, unshakable exhaustion that even sleep can't cure. Dr. Amy Kelly, a palliative care expert at Mount Sinai, explains that as the body slows down, so do vital functions like circulation and oxygen delivery. The heart and lungs don't work as efficiently, leaving muscles starved of energy. Imagine a car running on fumes. The engine sputters, every mile takes more effort, and eventually, movement itself becomes draining. A 2020 study in The Lancet found that 80% of elderly individuals in their last year of life experience persistent fatigue, often tied to this metabolic slowdown. For David, the change wasn't just physical, it hit him emotionally, too. Once sociable, he stopped inviting friends over, embarrassed by his weakness. His family encouraged him to get up and move, thinking activity might help, but it only left him more frustrated. Watching a loved one fade like this is heartbreaking. The instinct is to push them to keep going, but what if their body is simply conserving what little energy it has left? Instead of urging more movement, the best approach is to honor their limits. Let them rest when they need to. Simplify daily tasks. And most importantly, cherish small moments together, a quiet conversation, a shared memory, a gentle hand on theirs. These little things matter. Have you ever seen someone go through this? If this resonates, drop number 2 in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And stay tuned, because the next sign might surprise you. 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. Meet Helen, an 85-year-old retired teacher who once mesmerized her grandkids with vivid tales of history. She could bring the Civil War to life with a sweep of her hand and the lilt of her voice. But last year, her daughter Lisa noticed something unsettling. Helen repeated the same story 3 times in an hour. Names slipped her mind, she lost track of time, and on some days, she'd stand motionless in her kitchen, unsure why she was there. Lisa dismissed it at first. Everyone gets forgetful with age. But then Helen changed. She stopped chatting at family dinners, withdrew into silence, and barely acknowledged conversations. Was she just tired, or was something deeper at play? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Cognitive decline or withdrawal often signals the body's final stages. It's not simply misplacing keys or momentary forgetfulness, it's a slow, creeping fog over the mind. Neurologist Dr. Ronald Peterson from the Mayo Clinic explains that as circulation weakens, the brain receives less oxygen, slowing its ability to process thoughts. Research from neurology found that 60% of elderly individuals in their last year experience noticeable confusion or memory lapses, even without dementia. For some, moments of sharpness alternate with disorientation. Others quietly retreat, overwhelmed by the effort of keeping up. Think of the brain like a radio. In youth, the station is crystal clear, sharp voices, vivid melodies. But as the body weakens, static creeps in, making the sound fuzzy, the words harder to follow. Helen's withdrawal wasn't a choice, it was the fading of that signal. Her family felt the heartbreak of seeing her spark dim, but their attempts to re-engage her only left her more overwhelmed. So what's the best approach? Instead of quizzing or pushing for conversation, offer quiet comfort. Play soft music, flip through an old photo album, or hold her hand. Familiarity and gentle moments can anchor them in a world that feels increasingly unfamiliar. Have you noticed this in someone you love? Drop number 3 in the comments if this resonates. And stay with me, the next sign is a physical one, and just as revealing. 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. Meet James, an 87-year-old widower who had always prided himself on his strong immune system. In his younger years, he rarely caught a cold, and when he did, he bounced back fast. But this year was different. His son, Tom, watched with growing concern as James battled pneumonia, twice. Then came a stubborn urinary tract infection that refused to clear up. Even a simple scratch from pruning his beloved rose bushes took weeks to heal, reopening with the slightest bump. At first, Tom chalked it up to bad luck, but deep down, he wondered, why was his father struggling to recover from things that once barely slowed him down? A weakening immune system is a hallmark of the body's final stage. Dr. Laura Hansen, a geriatric specialist at UNC, explains that as organ function declines, the body's defenses weaken. Infections that once resolved quickly, like pneumonia or UTIs, become relentless, attacking with greater force and lingering longer. Research published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that 40% of elderly adults experience recurring infections in their last year of life. One key reason: slower circulation. With reduced blood flow, the body can't deliver the nutrients and immune support needed for fast healing. Even the skin, once resilient, has things like delicate paper, making wounds slower to close and more prone to reopening. For James, each new infection became harder to fight. His family did everything they could: antibiotics, hospital visits, extra care, but recovery seemed just out of reach. It's a painful reality for many families. Have you noticed something similar in someone close to you? When the immune system is faltering, aggressive treatments aren't always the best approach. Instead, focus on keeping their skin clean, ensuring they stay hydrated, and watching for early warning signs, like sudden confusion, which can indicate an infection before a fever even appears. At this stage, comfort often matters more than cure. If this resonates with you, drop number 4 in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't go anywhere. The last sign is coming, and it's one of the most revealing yet. 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. Meet Ruth, a 90-year-old who once greeted each morning with a brisk walk. She loved feeling the cool air on her face, her steps steady and strong. But lately, her grandson Peter noticed something unsettling. Midway through a sentence, she'd pause, gasping softly as if catching her breath. Her hands, once warm, now felt icy, and her fingertips had taken on a faint blue tinge. At night, her breathing changed, sometimes shallow, sometimes stopping for a few seconds before resuming with a soft gasp. Was she just coming down with a cold, or was this a sign of something more profound? Significant changes in breathing and circulation are among the clearest signals that the body is slowing down. Dr. Diane Meyer, a pioneer in palliative care, explains that as the heart weakens, it begins prioritizing only the most vital organs, reducing blood flow to the hands and feet, which causes them to feel cold. The lungs struggle too, leading to irregular breathing patterns. Research published in Chest Journal found that up to 70% of elderly individuals in their final months experience altered breathing rhythms, such as Shane Stokes respiration, a pattern of deep, labored breaths followed by pauses. It's as if the body's internal clock is winding down, each breath marking the slow, final ticks. At first, Ruth's family panicked. "Breathe deeper," they urged, watching anxiously as she fought for air. But what if these changes weren't meant to be battled? Sometimes, the best way to help isn't to push, but to provide comfort. A slightly cooler room, a well-positioned pillow, or a simple humidifier can ease the strain without unnecessary interventions. Have you ever noticed these signs in a loved one? It's natural to want to fix things, to try and make them better. But at this stage, the goal isn't to fight, it's to be present. These moments call for calm, understanding, and above all, peace. If this resonates with you, drop number 5 in the comments. And if you followed along this far, you know there's more to talk about. Because understanding these signs is the first step to providing love and comfort when it matters most. So, here we are. Weight loss, fatigue, confusion, infections, breathing changes. 5 signs that tell the story of a body gently preparing to rest. These aren't just medical symptoms. They are guideposts, reminders to cherish the moments we have with those we love. For Margaret, David, Helen, James, and Ruth, recognizing these signs wasn't about waging battles. It was about honoring life, embracing dignity, and finding peace in quiet goodbyes. What have these stories stirred in you? How might they shape your next moment with someone dear? You don't need a medical degree to make a difference. Just awareness, compassion, and the willingness to be present. It could be as simple as offering a warm meal, allowing someone to rest without guilt, or simply holding a hand in silence. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you will bring into practice in your own life? Drop it in the comments below. Let's support and learn from one another. If you liked this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's more wisdom ahead. See you next time.